manufactured supply chain halts or a deliberate attempt to shop shipments. According to experts, a lot of this is because of us. Our consumer spending habits have shifted as we spend more time at home. We're shifting our spending from services to goods during the pandemic. This is from Jeffrey Michael, Executive Director of the Center for Business and Policy Research at the University of the Pacific. An expert, not somebody you just saw on Facebook, an expert. Supply chains are struggling to keep pace with this shift in consumer demand. Now, this is an important quote. And you're not going to see this on your Facebook page, unfortunately. The ports in Southern California are actually moving record levels of containers. They are moving faster than normal. They just can't keep up with the increased demand. Shipping experts say there's a peak customer order season that starts with back-to-school shopping in September and lasts through the holidays in December. The ports can generally handle that surge, but last year things were different due to COVID-related disruptions and labor shortages. We had a peak season that was greater than normal a year ago, according to the executive director of Marine Exchange, and they haven't been able to clear it ever since. They've been backed up for more than a year. Plus, these ships are huge. They're bigger than they were 10 or 15 years ago. There's a lot more cargo per ship, so they just haven't been able to catch up. When you have more containers, more ships, you have less capacity in the goods movement system. So in other words, the bottleneck isn't unloading the ships, it's getting the stuff that they've unloaded into the supply chain. But that's a slowdown because there's a ton of stuff coming in. The port's jammed. All the docks, all the cranes are full. Everybody's working at port capacity. And the only slowdown is due to COVID safety protocols. This is again from the director of the Marine Exchange of Southern California, Kip Lutic. Kip said, if a captain says, somebody on the crew has COVID, the ship is not allowed to enter port. You can either go drift, go to anchor, but you have to do your quarantine. So some of these boats are actually quarantined during COVID. But that's a minority, not responsible for the larger backup. So I wanted to debunk what people are seeing. Scott, said, there's thousands of ships out there. And if you read the Facebook, it's very easy to read a headline and kind of absorb it and move on without giving it a second thought. I just wanted to say very clearly, yes, there may be shortages of goods because of unprecedented demand and a supply and distribution system that can't stand fast enough to meet it as COVID recovers. Don't stock up. It's not necessary. Ships are being allowed to dock and unload. There is no manufactured shortage. The PolitiFact rates it as mostly false. So if you see that, mostly false. So that's good to know. There is a chip shortage. There's no doubt about that, and there are slowdowns there. But that probably is only a small part of the overall slowdown. It's just consumer demand. We're buying a lot of stuff. We're not traveling. We're not going out to eat. We're buying a lot of stuff. 8888 Ask Leo. That kind of makes sense if you think about it. Charles is on the line from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello, Charles. Be on the 14 Tech Guy.
Hey, Leo. Quick number and long-time fan.
Welcome. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I basically want to ask you about Wi-Fi 6 and possible routers. I currently have an Eero set up with two beacons and this gateway and about 22 devices. And now that I have more devices, thanks to Apple, I just was wondering if Wi-Fi 6 is worthwhile.
So right now you don't have a lot of Wi-Fi 6 devices. All the new Apple here. And by the way, just as Wi-Fi 6 comes along, Wi-Fi 6E is a thing. So, figures, doesn't it? So that's what that list contains, all those Wi-Fi 6E routers. So what's happening is, in some cases, the 6 routers will be upgradable. At this point, because you probably don't, first of all, I have some Wi-Fi 6 devices, and I have a Wi-Fi 6 setup. I haven't noticed much difference. There's maybe a 10% improvement, maybe. Those Euros are very good. A lot of what makes those Euros fast is happening not because of more bandwidth, but because of smarter usage of bandwidth. That's why you get a mesh system with some smarts, because it can actually manage the network better, and that's going to give you better results. And I know this because you said you have 22 devices on there. Meet Mr. 73 devices on his home network. 22 sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But as you get more and more IoT devices, and you know, I'm the guy who buys the toaster oven, the internet connected, and the, you know, I have all that crazy stuff. So I actually had to sit down and really kind of look at what was going on. If you have a lot of Wi-Fi 6 devices, maybe, but most of the stuff you're using isn't in those 22. Most of it, you know, things like Amazon Echoes don't even use 5G. They're on 2.4G. They're not taking advantage of any of this additional bandwidth. So unless you feel like your iPhones and your Macs are slow, I wouldn't worry about it. Now, once 6E becomes established, and that's, you know, the couple of minutes does go to your Wi-Fi 7. I don't know, I haven't heard about that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But once 6E becomes established, then you might want to look at a 6E router. But I think you'd want to have a preponderance of your devices, you know, capable of taking advantage of it before you spend a lot of money. I mean, you put a lot of money into that beacon, right?
Yeah. A few $100. And so you would set that even with a gigabit internet connection?
Yeah, because gigabit's good among devices. So one of the things the Era does that's really smart is it says, oh, somebody's watching Netflix. I'm going to make sure they get the most bandwidth. And then the person who's checking email gets that. Management of the network turns out to be much more significant, I think, than whether you have Wi-Fi 6 or not. Now, you have an Era Pro, that is 6, right? Did you get, oh, you didn't get the latest Era Pro?
No, it's not the latest.
Yeah.
8G.
Yeah, I would wait. Wait till 6E comes out. And, you know, I mean, when I bought the Euro, it was, I think, 5. So, you know, it's just, and I think it's fine. We ended up upgrading the entire network from Euro to Ubiquity, which is kind of close to this stuff. Partly because I have so many ridiculous number of devices on this network. People are complaining. You know, we have a kid taking classes via Zoom. My wife's working at home. I'm working at home. We're watching TV. We're doing all this stuff. You gotta kind of, it's good to look at your usage and see. I don't think you'll benefit yet. I think I would wait. This is like a year later, right? You just bought this stuff. Wait another year.
Yeah, I think when I have less devices that are trying to do that. Network issues that we're managing.
Are you? Okay. Well, don't buy, let's put it this way. Don't buy another beacon. But remember, you're going to have to buy all new beacons, all new base stations. It's kind of expensive. It adds up. Beacons are $100 each. The Euro Pro 6 is $600 with 2 beacons. Yeah, 2 beacons. So we're talking a lot of money. I would say if you are noticing some congestion, try repositioning stuff. But if you think it's because of the number of devices, yeah, I mean, 6 could help. 6 of beamforming would help a little bit. I think 6 is what you got on.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. My most important devices need to be fine.
Yeah. Kfi adds a new band with more channels. That helps more with congestion or anything else.
Great, well, thank you.
Hey, it's good to talk to you. Thank you so much for supporting TopKick. I really appreciate it. That's our podcast, buddy. Yeah. I'll see you in the Discord.
Okay.
Thanks, Charles. Our show today is brought to you. I should explain what TopKick is now. If you're looking for a podcast, like most podcasts now, you offer a paid tier that gives you ad-free versions of this show. That's all. Kick.tv. If you want to know more about Kick.tv, okay, yeah, good enough.
No, try.
Oh, that's it. You gotta plug it. You gotta mention it. I said they brought to you by iDrive. Love iDrive. You know why? Because I sleep better when I know my data is safe. And man, are there threats to data? I mean, it's not just hard drive failure, although that does happen. It's like all hard drives fail eventually. It's also data lost through human error. You throw something in the trash and then go and empty it and go, oh, that was the wrong. Have you ever thrown out a whole folder and then realized that was the wrong folder? I have. Laptops get lost, phones break, and then there's ransomware. Okay. Ransomware is a non-stop problem. I mean, I think every week I can give you another ransomware attack on an agriculture company called New Cooperative is still intact to publish the supply of grain, pork, and chicken. And they want $5.9 million in ransom. How about this? How about you back up your data with iCloud, you get hit by ransomware, you roll back thanks to your snapshot, and you're good to go. And you didn't pay $7 million. You paid $7 a month. You get a huge amount of storage, one account backs with everything you have, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, even servers. It's just a great deal. PC Magazine says iDrive's the best remote backup out there. That's cloud backup solution for everyone. It says again this year, that's 7 years in a row now, they said that. And did I say $7 a month? That's what PC Magazine thought it cost. They thought that's a great deal. How about we take 90% off for your whole first year? Now how much do you pay? Well, you pay 90% less. If you go to iDrive.com, use my name Leo, iDrive. You've got to back it up. Use the best, iDrive. Kfi Am 640.
Newsroom. A fire broken out in the Hollywood Hills. Firefighters are working to put out the flames burning in light to medium dust along East Colina Boulevard. Thousands of women have hit the streets in downtown LA, Long Beach, and other Southland cities, along with millions of women across the U.S. for the annual Women's March. The focus of this year's march is to speak out against Texas's new ban of abortions after 6 weeks. Tesla says it has delivered more than 241,000 electric cars in the third quarter, in spite of a global shortage of computer chips that has kind of crippled the auto industry. Third quarter sales for Tesla are up 72% over the same period last year. Back in Montclair on the 10.
That's the eastbound at Central Avenue. So it looks like TT is on scene and they just moved it out of the two left lanes to the right shoulder. Traffic is recovering from about Town Avenue. And if you're in Hollywood on the 101 southbound, you'll see a pretty busy drive approaching Sunset Boulevard. That clears up once you get to the 110. And San Clemente on the 5 southbound just before Christie and Otto's Road. An earlier wreck in the left lane has been moved off the freeway. Traffic is recovering from Avenida Vista Hermosa. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
Contractor like your Looking good, Rich Talk. Candy to do things the right way, not the easy way. And now, every ghetto technician has a digital assistant named Duncan. Digital Duncan is great, just like his name says. Back during the Cold War, the U.S. government came to my dad and said, we need you to build a giant freezer at a test site and bring it down to 50 degrees below zero. They wanted to make sure their nuclear freezers would function if they had to send war hits to Russia during the wintertime. So Dad designed a cascade system that used weird gases like argon and CO2 instead of freon. He and I got that system down to 50 degrees below zero in the Nevada desert in the summertime. When the U.S. government wants a genius solution, they ask Duncan Digital. And when your ghetto technician needs a genius solution, they ask Digital Duncan. Ghetto's been awarded 114 patents. Cool stuff, what did you know? And we believe number 115 is on the way. Yes, GOEPPS will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into. From comedy to motivation to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com. As life returns to normal, our worries will not disappear, but evolve. Kyle offers free COVID-19 and listener support. Call 1-833-317-4673 or live chat at cowled-chassis.org today.
tomorrow night at 8. LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, unscripted.
I'm being cheered on by people on high businesses at Riga Grove. I'm being cheered on by the people in Venice, people on Rivera Street. Everyone's impacted by homeless throughout LA County.
What's the sheriff going to talk about? Who is he going to talk about?
If the least of the party want to see me resign, if you're going to be disappointed, I'm not going anywhere.
KFI gives the mic to LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva tomorrow night at 8 on KFI.
Big tech guy. 8888. Ask Leo. The phone number. Anthony's on the line from Ventura, California. Our next caller. Hi, Anthony.
Well, zippity-doo-dah, real
Hello, Anthony. How are you?
I know, you're probably getting tired of my zippity-doo-dah.
Never getting tired of zippity-doo-dah. Yes.
Well, then, and I'm going to have to put you on a better man because, well, no, I can't do that. But remember, I was the guy who had these Windows phones forever and ever by Nokia.
I know. Oh, so sad.
Yeah, I buried them all in the backyard with a shovel.
Those are great phones. Someone I still have one lying around somewhere.
Yeah, they all got phones. But you talked me into the 1.7 Pro. And your guys went online and they're out of stock because the 8 Pro was coming out, and then I thought the 8 Pro with all the bells and whistles and doodles and batteries.
Good.
But I'm having a couple issues.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's the matter? How old is it?
Yeah, I bought it last time we talked. For 6 months ago.
Okay.
Here's the issue that maybe you could help me, is that we thought, well, first of all, like the Windows phone, it has the SD card that you could, the mini SD card that you could plop in and plop out.
Yeah, you remember with the Windows phone, Microsoft at first said, don't use it. Because it's come out of it also. The idea of phones don't, Android did not, and Windows Phone did not assume that a drive would disappear. Computers do. But phones assume the storage, if it's there, it's there. Where would it go? And so removable storage is always a little troubling on a smartphone. So what's going on?
Luckily with the Windows phone, if you pulled out the SD card and put it in the little adapter and stuck in the switch in my Dell computer, it works just fine.
Yeah.
I was able to pull overall.
Oh, you can't read the SD cards from your OnePlus?
Well, the OnePlus never had an SD card. It has 128 gigabytes worth of memory, but it doesn't have an SD card. So you have to plug it in and then wait for your computer to assume it as in a drive. That is the problem. I can't get it to see it as a drive. And when I try to download drivers for it, figuring that's the missing link. And then the drivers I download and then they say not supported. So what do I do now?
So you're saying that it doesn't have an SD card, so you're just connecting the phone to the computer?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. You confused me with this mention of the SD card. Okay, good. I got it. So, I'm not sure how OnePlus does this. Windows may not. Well, what should happen is OnePlus should pop up, the phone should pop up the same thing. You want to see me as a camera or as mass storage, and you should choose mass storage. You're listening to KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk news is next. KFI, news of the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, people who work in the city and the entertainment industry are voting this weekend on a possible strike. Marissa Shipley with the International Association of Theatrical Stage Employees says its demands include better pay for lower wage workers and more time off this year. Basic money for yourself and the number. The manager of Motion Picture and Television Producer says its negotiations with the union about its demands broke down last month, just days after they started. Police have issued an arrest warrant for an 18-year-old man charged with killing 3 girls in a hit-and-run crash in Turner Valley. 4 girls were hit in the crash in June. 3 of them died. One of the girls lost their legs. 2 of the girls were disabled and were using wheelchairs to get around when they were hit last June. The CHP says the guy they're looking for, Santos Cruz, may be hiding in Mexico. Police in Florida have found a body that maybe a college student has been missing for more than a week. 19-year-old Maya Marcano had last been seen at a luxury apartment complex in Orlando where she lived and worked on September 24th. Knights of the Jack has returned to King Gillette Ranch in Calabasas. This year, the event returned to a walking trail filled with thousands of hand carved, illuminated pumpkins. The event is going on now through Halloween. From the Southern California Toyota Dealer Traffic Center, we make it easy. We've got some trouble in Buena Park. Hey, Drew, what's up?
It's on the 5 northbound just before Artesia Boulevard. It's a crash, and it has the left lane blocked, so it's a busy ride from Auto Center Drive. South El Monte on the 60 actually westbound at the 605. You feel wreck in the center divider causing some slowing from 7th Avenue. And then Lawndale on the 405 northbound at Hawthorne Boulevard. There's a compact car stuck in the carpool lane that's causing some delays from Artesia Boulevard. Clarifying the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
Southbound weather from Taylor Farms, highs in the 70s to about 80 at the beaches, around 90 for Metro LA and Window C, 80s to mid-90s for the valleys and IE. Pretty much the same for tomorrow, then cooling down with a slight chance of showers on Monday afternoon. Highs will be in the 60s at the coast, 70s and 80s inland through most of next week. We leave local, live back out from the KFI 24-hour newsroom on a YouTube.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. When it comes to flooring, Lowe's showroom is all about fashion and function. Check out stylish, durable brands like Bruce Hardwick, SmartCore, and Satori Tile. Order now, only at Lowe's. See in-store associate or credit detail page for warranty information.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save for details.
I was taking my time along the dusty and rough road. When along came up the line with a high and canvas-covered load. If you're going to win nothing like with me, you can ride. And so I climbed into the cab, and when I settled down inside, he asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
He's a traveling guy right now, traveling within the confines of his vicinity, but normally he'd be all over the world. Johnny Jet is here, JohnnyJet.com. This is his website. He helps us travel better with technology. I think we do what a lot of us are doing, getting to know our neighborhood. You know, our local resorts. You just were at a resort. Is this in Santa Barbara? Where is Paramount?
No, it's in Palos Verdes, Rancho Palos Verdes, which is 30 minutes south of LAX, along the coast. One of the most beautiful views. It's actually one of my favorite drives in the whole world, just driving around the coast there. And, you know, we just spent a few nights there. They hosted us for COVID, but it was, you know, 4 pools, including a water slide. My kids were nuts over it.
I can believe so. I might just lie down and do that.
And they have a restaurant you have to go to called Melton's. And they have some parking by there at the resort, where you can just go hike along the trail and go to this restaurant, Melton's, which has one of the best views in a route, especially between December and May when whale season is taking place.
Nice.
And you'll see 20 whales a day going out there. I love it. I mean, I've stayed there before, and I really love it.
It's named after, you know this, I'm sure, but it's named after Mike Nelson. Who's Mike Nelson? Remember Ski Hunt? Lloyd Bridges' scuba diving TV show? I didn't know this. It pays off. I'm looking at the website. It pays homage to Ski Hunt's main character, Mike Nelson, as well as after Lloyd Bridges' lifetime efforts to protect the environment in the ocean.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I lived next door in college. It is condos, and this used to be an empty, vacant lot after they had Marine Land. Marine Land used to be there. And they filmed so many TV shows. My roommate one night came in because I almost ran Harrison Ford over. I mean, they were filming all kinds of movies. They filmed Louisville West in there. The Hunt for Red October in there.
It looks beautiful.
The location, you can't get better.
I highly advise it. But for people who don't live in California, maybe actually more people out of California see it. California's advertising. Don't go anywhere. Take your vacation here. It's a great place to take a vacation. And I agree.
Want you to stay in California. I agree. Listen, my whole life, I've lived in California for 30-something years, and I said, I'll travel California when I'm older. Right now, back then, I was just traveling the world. I'd go to 20 countries a year, and now, I haven't been to another country in over a year.
I say this to my wife all the time. People come from all over the world. We live in wine country. They come from all over the world to visit. We really see some of this.
Agreed.
So, what's up in your travel world these days?
So, one of the great promotions this week is Air Canada. If anyone has elite status with a U.S. airline, you have to be a U.S. resident. They will match it. With free elite status until the end of the year. If you take one trip from now until January 15th, they'll give you elite status for the following year. So I'm executive platinum on American Airlines, which is the second to highest tier. So I have 100,000 miles a year normally with them. Wow. So they just matched me. It takes 2 minutes literally to sign up. You just have to put in your information and scan your card. And I'm now 75K on Air Canada, which is a good
Well, I mean, is it just for this year?
And for next year, if I fly once to Canada, so Destination Canada, the tourism board got involved and sponsored it. So they're trying to get people to go to Canada, and they're trying to get people who travel a lot and will spend money. But it's a huge savings for people like me. I would love to fly Air Canada non-stop to LA and Toronto, where my wife is from, but to buy seats for 4 people, nice bulkhead seats, it's $91 a piece. With this elite status, that's free. To check a bag is $40 each bag is free with this status. So you can really save some money. I would definitely take advantage of it if you're thinking about going to Canada and if you have elite status. Then you get into their really nice Maple Leaf lounges. So keep that. Speaking of some international travel, Australia is now opening up November 14th. They said December, now they moved it to November 14th. London and LA will be Qantas's first international flight. So that's big news. In Qantas, you have to be fully vaccinated to fly on their aircraft. And now a senator in the U.S. just introduced a bill to try and require COVID vaccinations or negative tests for domestic flights. So we'll see if that happens.
You do have to wear a mask, so I feel like it's not pretty safe on that front.
You do have to wear a mask. More good news, the TSA lowered their pre-check online renewal fee from $85 to $70. So it's 20% off. So that's started yesterday.
But you recommend, if you can, global entry, because you get TSA free and it's a little more expensive, but you get much more if you're traveling.
Global entry is $100 for 5 years. It includes TSA pre-check. If you travel to Canada like I do, you get the Nexus. It's $50 for 5 years and includes global entry and TSA free. So that's the way to do it. But the problem is, Nexus you have to do your interview in Canada or at least one of their border towns.
Oh man, I wish I'd done it when I used to go to Canada every month. But I've been to Canada in a while.
It makes such a difference. You just zip through, you just scan your eyes. I love it. I really do. And what else is in the news today? Actually, speaking of Canada, Toronto and Copenhagen, Denmark, just came out as the 2 safest cities in the world. They just bumped Singapore, and I don't know what the other city was. Singapore and Tokyo, I think.
Denmark, Copenhagen's great. I love Denmark, and I love Copenhagen.
Well, I'm part Danish, I don't know if you knew that, but
I knew it. I can tell. I can see it in your eyes. You look like you want to prune Danish right now. No, not that kind of Danish.
Does it come from Denmark?
Yeah, that's a big question. You would think so.
Why do they call them Danish?
If you're not from
It
Denmark.
must be because they have really good bakeries in Copenhagen, including one Hanson's, which is
Does Solvang count? I think Solvang should count.
Solvang is
our little Danish
little
in
town.
California. Yeah, that should count as Danish. They're big cookies.
They make apple skewers, not they have
Well, I have an apple skewer pan. Yeah, I have one.
apple skewers.
Yeah. Well, you can make it apple.
And how much time we got?
You got 1 minute, 58, 57, 56, 55,
Okay, we got
54.
oh, we have a really good website. Well,
You felt the right show. You felt like you get the tech guy over here, and he can help you.
I have no idea what that is, but I do have United Airlines did terminate 593 employees who did not get vaccinated. But that's less than 1%, so that's huge. JetBlue said they're going to come out and make their employees as well. But American Airlines and Southwest, their pilots have really pushed back. So I would think twice about booking on American and Southwest this holiday season because they're talking about the pilots possibly striking or at least causing or not having enough employees to fly people around. So keep that in mind.
I just saw that Hawaii, 100% of people over 65 are vaccinated. That's so great. That is so great.
It's amazing.
You get the impression because you see all the protests and people saying they're coming just that maybe the vaccine programs aren't working, but they are in Hawaii. They're working very well. So they are, yeah. How's your dad, by the way?
You know, he's hanging in there. He just called me up and he goes, you got to get me out of this home. And I'm like, Dad, so I got to go visit him.
Yeah, go check it out, see what's going on,
I might have to go bust him out this
have
time.
a chat with the nuns, and
I busted him out of there. He's not with the
he's not with the nuns anymore out there. But he doesn't like the new one. He just wants to go home.
He's not there.
No, who would?
He's back, but I can't blame him.
I don't blame you. Johnny Jet, go to johnnyjet.com. He's got lots of great stuff there. His articles, everything's free. His newsletters. You can subscribe and get airfare deals and all that stuff too. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter as well at Johnny Jet. Thank you, Johnny. Safe local travels. We'll talk next week. This is KFI Am 640.
I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Police are investigating after a man's body was found at a homeless encampment in Irwindale. Officers found the body in the encampment on the bank of the San Gabriel River near Lower Azusa Road overpass. More than 6.7 million public and private school students will soon be required to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to attend class on campus. The governor's mandate announced yesterday is the first of its kind in the U.S. The Air Force Thunderbirds, the Navy's Blue Angels, and the Canadian Snowbirds have roared over the skies of Huntington Beach for the Pacific Air Show after the show had to be canceled last year due to the pandemic. Missed it today? The show continues tomorrow from 10:30 to 4:30. We've got a crash in Sun Valley on the 5.
That's heading northbound just before Penrose Street. It's blocking the carpool lane, so your drive starts to stack up at Glen Oaks Boulevard. Downtown LA on the 10 westbound at Alameda, there's a stalled car stuck in the right lane, so that's causing some stop-and-go traffic from the 5101 split. And if you're in Corona on the 91 eastbound just before Main Street, watch out for a crash that has the 3 left lanes blocked. A motorcycle involved in that one, so you're seeing heavy traffic from Auto Center Drive. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
Contact your license 1047-781. Ken, it's Ken. What's the deal with the flashlight? What do you mean? Like on our billboards and on our trucks and stuff. That kid with the flashlight is me, Zach. Explain that to me. My dad was a big-time expert. So back when I was in grade school, he would always take me with him on repair calls at night.
Made you hold the flashlight, didn't he?
Yeah, and he would always explain to me how he diagnosed the problem.
That's a good dad. That's what that is.
And then he would show me the right way to fix it, not the easy way.
So that flashlight is a symbol, huh?
That flashlight says an expert will always see the problems that the other guys can't see.
That's why you make sure all our guys are experts.
Yeah, and when you repair things the right way, not the easy way, your life, that's the end of life.
Always doing the right thing for the customer.
That's what the flashlight means, Zach.
Thanks for telling me, Ken.
Gettle, G-O-E-T-T-L.
We know our business and we know it well.
This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy to motivation to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go. Use iHeart Ad Builder to create an affordable custom radio ad right on your phone. Just click, listen, approve, then hear it on the radio. Create your customized ad today at iHeartAdBuilder.com. Are you suffering with nerve pain and numbness in your back, legs, and feet? Do you suffer from leg cramping, sciatica pain, pain when you walk, prickling or tingling sensations in your hands and feet? Have you tried all of the pain treatments, the shots, the pills, yet you are still suffering with chronic pain caused by peripheral neuropathy, spinal stenosis, or a failed back surgery? Here is good news from Dr. Philip Yu, founder of the 21st Century Pain Institute. You may now have hope of reducing or even eliminating your pain with new non-surgical options, like the new laser-guided stem cell therapy, which is helping millions with pain-free. If you're in pain, be one of the next 27 callers and receive Dr. Yu's special back, legs, and foot exam. Regularly $375, but only $97 if you are one of the first 27 callers. If you are in pain, grab your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say pain-free. To receive the special $97 back, leg, and foot exam, grab your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say pain-free. On your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say pain-free.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart Radio Station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Leo reports. The tech guy, 8888, asked Leo the phone number. John is on the line from Fallbrook, California. Fallingbrook is a Frank Lloyd Wright house. You are not in the Frank Lloyd Wright house. You are in Fallbrook. Welcome.
Yeah, but it may be falling too.
Well, we're all falling into fall. What can I do for you today?
Hey, I'm being pestered a lot on robocalls, and I continue to hear an advertisement about RoboKiller.
Yes.
And so I wanted your thoughts on what's the best way to prevent or to slow down these robocalls.
So, the best way that the FCC would do the right thing and would start with prosecuting and all this, they have started to make moves in those directions. Of course, sign up for the Do Not Call registry. The problem with most robocalls is these people are criminals, so they don't care. They Do Not Call registry says or doesn't say. Most phone companies now offer, usually for free, some sort of anti-spam blocking on their phones, on the cell phones. You're talking robocalls on your landline or on your cell phone?
On my cell phone.
Yeah. So the way RoboKiller and a variety of other systems work, to me, it's kind of not what I want to do. You have to pass your call through them, which makes sense. Right? How would they block? It calls them, go to them first. So I believe, unless this is that will have some other trick, you'll be forwarding your calls to them, and then they'll forward them back to you after filtering out the stuff you don't want. And it sounds like it's a pretty good system. They actually answer the call, so they're listening to the call and deciding if this is a bogus call or not. Kind of like what you would do. It's a shame that we have to even do this. Honestly, we need to find a better way to do it.
Well, a lot of the calls are from numbers that are not even in service if I call back.
Oh, don't call back ever. Yeah. We generate random calls. Random numbers are good. In fact, the real problem is that they are often using your area code and even your exchange. So if you're in the 413 exchange, they'll come from your area code 413 and a 4-digit number. Those are all spoofed. So it's very easy to spoof. You don't have to call from that number to get that number to show up in caller ID. Very easy to spoof that. So don't call them back. Every once in a while, I'll get a call from somebody I rate that I've been bugging them. And it's like, dude, don't you know how this works? It's not me calling you. Somebody else spoofing my number. So don't bother calling them back. That's just harassing somebody else. If you get somebody, most of the time it will be a bad number of mine. Because they're just doing a random number generator. Yeah, RoboCall works. I wonder if there's some other good solutions. I've heard of quite a few. As long as you don't mind passing your phone number into their system and out again. But if you think about it, it's the only way they can do it. And it's not expensive. It's fairly inexpensive. So I would try it for free for a week and see if you feel comfortable with it. And if you do, that might well work.
So passing through, it's kind of seamless. I won't even know that it passes through.
That's right. That's exactly right. Once you set up the forwarding, you have to go through a few steps to set that up. There's another one that I'm more familiar with, Nomo Robo. Nomorobo. You know the guy who set that one up, but I don't know. It's roughly the same price. He has a free version as well for landline. It's worth checking out both of them and see if they like that.
Okay. Well, great. Thanks again.
You're welcome. And I would check with your cell carriers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. They all have systems you may have to enable that may help as well.
I do get some that says potential